Hello, good morning. Good morning. Am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Yes, sir.
So the time is 8:04. How many students are in this class? How many students are attending for this MBA lectures? Hello, am I audible? Hello? So far, there are only 80 students connected in this class. So shall we wait for some time or shall we start? Hello? Can you able to hear me? Am I audible?
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Am I audible? Can you able to hear me?
Yeah. Clear.
So can you please tell me how many students are attending for this class?
Around 22.
Around 22, no? Now the time is 6 minutes past 8 o'clock. So shall we start or shall we wait for some time?
I think only 12 people join now. We will wait for 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah,
5
so
minutes.
far, yeah, there are only 12 students joined this class. So if you wish, we can wait for 2-3 minutes. After that, we'll start. Shall we wait for 2-3 minutes?
Okay.
Morning, sir.
Am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So without wasting our time, we will start the session. Others can join while we are conducting the session. Okay, very good morning. So this is Dr. Ilmudin from Department of MIT. This is your operation management subject. And I'm not your regular lecturer, so I have been given some portion of your lecture hours. I'm going to conduct in this today's session operation strategy, and probably one more session is allocated for me. So after finishing this session, so by next week we will focus on the next session. So today our focus is on operation strategy. Actually, we are going to discuss this session for 3 hours, 8 to 11 o'clock. And can you able to see my screen? Hello, can you able to see my screen?
Yeah, it's visible, yes.
Okay, great. So in this today's session, operation strategy, we are going to focus on the following areas. First, we are going to discuss about what is business strategy or functional strategy, and how this operation strategy is linked or related with this business strategy or functional strategy. Next, we are going to discuss about operation strategy and its importance. So what is operation strategy and its importance? Next, we will focus on developing an operation strategy. After that, we will discuss about 4 perspectives in operation strategy. Then we will discuss about competitive advantage and core competencies for a business organization. So what are their competitive advantage and what are their core competencies? Then we will move into this productivity and measuring the productivity, how we can measure a firm productivity in terms of various aspects. Next, we will discuss a small case study in relation with this operation strategy. Finally, we will conclude this session with some common operational issues business firms are facing. Some of the common operation strategy related issues business firms are nowadays facing. So these are our outline for this today's session. Okay, so with that, let's move into this first slide, that is business strategy. Okay, am I audible? I just want to check. Am I audible?
Yes, sir, yes.
Is my voice is okay? I mean, clear? Okay, let's begin with this business strategy. You might heard about the business strategy. So without a business plan, business firm or any business entity cannot be exist. Each and every business firm have their own business strategy. Have you ever think about how they are deriving or how they are forming their business strategy? Any idea? For any business entity or any business organization, they have their own business strategy. And without this business strategy, they cannot run their business. Okay, how they are forming or how they are creating their business strategy? Any idea? Okay, so business firm, they have their own business strategy. Basically, the business strategy is the long-term plan for their business operation. simply we can define this business strategy as their long-term business plan to operate or to execute their business operation. Basically, this business strategy is derived from the following areas. First, they must scan or they must study about their environment, business environment, by monitoring the business environment, like by focusing on their market trend, what are the threats and what are the opportunities, their customers, their competitors. So they have to scan the environment and they have to get some sort of idea to derive this business strategy. And they have a own mission and vision. Each and every business firm, they have a mission. Actually, the firms are, business firms are running towards this mission. To achieve this mission, they are executing their business operation. So basically this mission, it defines what is their business and who are their clients, who are their customers, and how they are giving the value for their business and customers. So in their mission statement, they have defined or they have included the following aspect. So what is their actual business and who are their client, who are they are going to serve in the form of by producing product or by offering the services, and what sort of value they are going to offer by producing or by offering the product and services in their mission. And each and every business, they are running their business operation and they are believing they have some sort of competencies. They have some sort of strength. They have some sort of strength in terms of they can be good at in technology, or they can be good at in offering valuable quality product, or they may be good at in providing better customer services. So any competency or strength they may have. Each and every business may have their competencies, their strength. So unique strength that can help the business to run in the market. So these are some of the areas or some of the aspects they have to focus or they have to take into account when they are deriving or when they are formulating their business strategy. What the idea? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I got the idea. Have you got the idea? Hello? Hello? Shall we move into next slide? Have you got the idea? Shall I move into next slide?
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. So I just want to brief business strategy. Without a business plan, there is no business entity. So each and every business firm, they have their own business plan or business strategy. And to form this business strategy, firms are looking or business entities are looking the following aspect, like environmental scanning. By scanning their environment, business environment, they are getting some sort of information about their market trend, customers, their threat, their available opportunities, and they have a own mission statement. In that mission statement, they may include who are their customers, what is the actual business, and what sort of value they are going to offer. All these informations are stated in their mission. And core competencies. Each and every business entity, they have their own strength. So these are this environmental scanning and mission and core competencies. They are deriving or they are formulating their business strategy. So this is our first step. Next, from this business strategy, so as you all know, this business strategy is the long-term plan to run their business operation. It defines the long-range plan for their business entity, business strategy. And inside this business strategy, there are some functional strategies to carry out this business strategy, or under this business strategy, there are functional level strategies. Functional level strategies. What are the functional level strategies? To execute their business operations, they need a business strategy. And to execute their business strategy, to execute their business operation, there may be several functional strategies. So those functional strategies are marketing strategy, operation strategy, and finance strategy. So these are the basic three kind of functional strategies: marketing strategy, operation strategy, and finance strategy. Other than this, there are some other functional strategy may be there. Okay. Now we have reached the operation strategy. So basically this marketing strategy, it talks about the marketing plan, and it defined marketing plan to support the business strategy. So basically each and every functional strategies are supporting for the business strategy. So basically it defined marketing plan, how they are going to market their product and services, how they are going to treat their customers, how they are going to offer the product, and how they are going to support their customers. So marketing plan, which support for to achieve this business strategy. So basically marketing strategy support to achieve the business strategy. The next one is the operation strategy. Operation strategy means a firm can be either they can manufacture the product or offer the services. Either they can manufacture and sell the product to the customers, end users, in customers, or they can offer the services to the customers. Okay. The operation strategy, it include a plan for the operation function to support the business strategy. Basically how their operations, how they are going to manufacture the product. If it is a manufacturing firm, how they are going to manufacture, how many units they are going to manufacture, how they are going to get the inventory, how they are going to manage or monitor these inventories. So what is the actual operations? What is the actual routines? So all these kind of activities comes under this operation strategy. So basically develop a plan for the operation function to support the business strategy. Operation strategy. A little later, I'm going to discuss this operation strategy in detail. So that time you can better understand about this operation strategy and its scope, its importance, and various aspects. Okay. The third one is the finance strategy. For each and every business firm, finance is the must. Finance or capital is the must. So basically, as the previous strategies stated, like marketing strategy and operation strategy stated, the financial strategy also, it develop financial plan to support the business strategy. So financial plan means how they are going to get the capital. So what are the sources to get the finance? What is their incomes? What are their expenses? How they are going to collect this income? How they are going to expenditure for their expenses. So all this comes under this financial strategy, financial plan to operate the business operations. So basically you see this marketing strategy and operation strategy and finance strategy, all these three kind of strategies are supporting for the business strategy, supporting for the business strategy. The ultimate purpose or the ultimate objective of this marketing strategy, operation strategy, and finance strategy is to support the business strategy. So business strategy is the top level strategy, and these are the functional strategies. Marketing strategy, operation strategy, and finance strategy are the functional level strategies, these functional level strategies are supporting or helping to achieve the business strategy. Basically, these functional level strategies are supporting to run our business operations. So to run our business operation, we have a business strategy. This is the link between these business strategy and the functional level strategies. What the idea? Simply, we may say business strategy is the top level strategy, the long range plan. And to achieve this long range plan, each and every business unit have their own strategy, like marketing division or marketing functional area. It has its own marketing plan. So we call it marketing strategy. And operation department. So they have their own strategy and own plan. We call it operation strategy. And the financial division, financial functional area department, they have their own strategy called financial plan. So all these functional area plans are or strategies are supporting to achieve this business strategy. What's the idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Okay, next we will move to this next slide. So from the previous slide, we understood that business strategy define long-term plan. So this is the corporate level plan. Business strategy, it defined the long-term plan. So to achieve this long-term plan, the business strategy, the operation strategy support the business strategy. Operation strategy from the operational department or divisions, the functional area operations, the operation strategies are supporting for this business strategy. Likewise, the marketing strategy needs to fully understand the operation capabilities as well as the financial plan in effect support the operation activities. Like this operation strategy, the marketing strategy and finance strategy also supporting to achieve this business strategy. The role of operation strategy is to provide a long-range plan. The role of operation strategy is to provide the long-range plan for the use of the company's resources in producing company's primary goods and services. So basically, each and every business entities, the routines, sometimes they may manufacture the product or they may offer the services. So this operation strategy, it includes long-range plan for a business firm by maximizing or by using their resources for producing product or offering the services. Whereas the role of business strategy is to serve as an overall guide. So as I mentioned earlier, business strategy is the top level strategy, corporate level strategy. So the role of business strategy is to serve as an overall guide, the top level overall guide for the development of the organization operation strategy. So likewise for this operation strategy, the business strategy can support for marketing strategy also. Business strategy can support for finance strategy also. So the role of a business strategy is to serve as an overall guide for the development of the organization's operation strategy. So this is the link or the connection between the business strategy and the functional area strategies. What the idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. If you want to clarify anything or if you want to ask anything, please, you can interrupt me and you can ask. Okay. So now we will discuss about this operation strategy in detail. As I mentioned earlier, the operation strategy is a plan for the design and management of operation functions. Basically, it is developed after the business strategy. So the top level strategy, the corporate level strategy is the business strategy. Under this business strategy, there are functional strategies. So one of the functional strategy is the operation strategy. So business strategy, after the business strategy, the operation strategy is developed. So a business strategy, operation strategy is a plan for the design and the management of operation function of an organization. It is developed after the business strategy, and this operation strategy focuses on specific capabilities which give it a competitive edge. So there are competitive priorities for an organization. So for example, cost. Operation strategy, when they are developing this operation strategy, they have to consider about this cost sense. So how to minimize the cost operations for business operations, they can focus the business strategy, the operation strategy can focus the competitive priorities. The competitive priorities are cost, quality, time, and flexibility. So they have to consider these following competitive priorities. Either they have to benchmark on cost, in a sense, reducing or eliminating cost, unwanted cost, reducing cost. In their business operations, they have to focus the competitive priority, how they can reduce the cost wise. Quality sense, offer the quality product sense, compared to their competitors, competitive product. This particular company or a business organization, they have to offer the quality product, quality services. So they are benchmarking on this quality aspect. Time sense, the market is turbulent. So technological improvement and the market is rapidly changing. So time is the very important factor. Time sense, time to market. So if there is any changes in the market, they have to first adapt the technology or changes or innovations or any additions, and the time to market. They have to sense the customers, their customers' requirement, and the time to respond to their customers. So time is the very important factor, and it will support to secure their market. So time is the important factor. Flexibility sense, so the particular business organization has to be ready to flexible. So in a sense, if there is a huge demand in the market, so they have to ready to supply. Flexibility, and their organization settings should be flexible enough to include any new technologies, to adapt any new technologies. So flexibility, some sort of flexibility in their business operations. So the competitive priorities like cost, quality, time, and flexibility, the business must focus these competitive priorities to develop their operation strategy. A clear operation strategy is a must, and it is one of the most practical tool and helping the business organization to stay aligned with the business goals. So the business strategy must be a very important aspect, and which is helping the business organization to align with their business goals. When a business has a strong operation strategy in place, if a business organization has their strong business strategy, it is easy to introduce new product and services and respond to the market demand. The market demand means customers demand, so customer preferences. So from this point, we can understand each and every business organization, they need a strong business strategy to run their business without any disturbance in their business. Good idea. Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move to next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So I can summarize from this slide. So basically, from this business strategy, operation strategy is developed, and when we are developing this business operation strategy, business firm must focus on the following competitive priorities like cost, quality, time, and flexibility. And each and every business organization must have their clear operation strategy to align with their business goals. And if a business organization has strong operation strategy, so then they can introduce new product and services, and they can respond on time in the market demand for the market demand. So these are the highlight from this slide. Okay, let's move into this next slide. An operation strategy needs to, so what the operation strategy tell us, why a particular business organization need operation strategy, what it can tell. So how this operation strategy can support or guide for an organization. Okay, the operation strategy, it defines how products are created or services are offered, how products are created or how services are delivered at low cost, aligning with SMART objectives. So, you know, these SMART objectives for business organization, they have their SMART objectives like specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound objectives. So the business strategy define how products are created, how products are manufactured, or how services are delivered at a lower cost. At a lower cost. So business organization business strategy tell us how products are created or services are offered. It specify operation strategies specifying how products are made to standard specifications. So it can tell us how products are made with a quality, standard specification, quality, how it can support to achieve the quality parameters. Specify how products are made to a standard specification. Simply we may say quality aspect. The operation strategy define how services is delivered to a known level of quality and without error. How services are delivered with a minimum error at the same time in a quality service. Describe how services are delivered to a known level of quality and without error. Minimizing error as well as maintaining the quality when they are delivering their services. It defines how actions are taken in response to market demand. So their operation strategy, business organization operation strategy must tell how actions, how decisions are taken in response to market demand, market conditions. When there is a change in the market, or if there is any new trend or new condition in the market, how we can respond, how our operation has to respond. In a sense, if there is a technological changes or market changes or new demand, customer demand, how we can respond. So define how actions are taken in response to market demand or market changes. If there is any new competition in the market, new competitive firm, new competitor, and if they are offering new kind of product, so how we can respond, how we can improve our product features. So all these kind of actions or strategies. It defines how product and services should be delivered to meet customer expectations. So our business strategy must talk about how we can produce and deliver our services that must be meet our customer expectations. So actually each and every business firms, they are in the market to satisfy their customers in a form of supplying product or delivering services. So their operation strategy must tell how product and services are delivered for their customers to meet their customer expectations. It specifies how the business should incorporate flexibility in its day-to-day activities and changing volumes or speed of production or mix of product or services delivered. And their operation strategy must tell them how they can incorporate this flexibility in a sense. So if they want to include anything in their day-to-day routine activities, their operation strategy must support them. And if they want to produce, suddenly if they want to produce huge volume of product, they can be able to manufacture or produce huge amount of product in a short period of time, handling or managing sudden demand. So changing volumes or speed of production. In a sense, if they want to supply very quickly to the market, they have to be ready to supply to the market. So speed of productions and any mix of these kind of strategies. So their operation strategy must include to include the flexibility in their day-to-day operations, or to increase their sudden demand, to manage their sudden demand, or to quickly supply to the market, or any kind of mixed strategies they have to implement to manage their market situation or market conditions. So when we take this operation strategy of a business organization, we have to find the following aspect. What the idea? The operation strategy of a business organization has to tell the following aspect: how their product are manufactured and services are delivered, and it has to maintain some sort of quality, and it has to describe the quality as well as error-free services, define some sort of actions which can be taken to manage their market condition or market situations, and it define the product and services should be delivered to meet their customer expectations, and their operation strategy must tell the business can include this flexibility in terms of to implement any kind of routine activities, or increasing or managing market sudden trend, like sudden demand, increasing volumes, number of quantities, and a time to market. So these are some sort of actions that can be performed by including the flexibility, by incorporating the flexibility. So these are some of the aspects or some of the things we can identify from a business strategy of a business firm. Okay, now we are going to discuss about importance of operation strategy. Why this operation strategy is important? What are the importance of this operation strategy? As we already discussed, the operation strategy is derived from the business strategy. Operation strategy is the functional level strategy, and it involves and specify a company's business strategy and developing strategic initiatives and operational plan, aiming the department and business unit to successfully implement the overall business strategy. So we know operation strategy is the functional level strategy, and it is derived from the business strategy, and the operation strategy involves refining and specifying a company's business strategy and developing strategic initiatives and operational plans, aiming the department and the business unit to successfully implementing the overall business strategy of a business organization. So the importance of operation strategy: providing management. The business strategies provide the management with the feedback regarding the overall effectiveness of the corporate and business strategies. So the operation strategy provide the management the feedback regarding the overall effectiveness of the corporate and the business strategy. So I have already highlighted business strategy is the corporate level strategy, top level strategy. So the operational strategy highlight, or the operational strategy provide the management, the managerial people regarding the effectiveness of a business operation, performing detailed operational analysis to identify any omissions, problems, improvement areas in the primary strategies. So the operational strategy gives some sort of idea about for any changes or any eliminations, any omissions, so any operational problems, so or else anything to be improved. Say for example, if they want to increase the existing manufacturing capacity, let's say if they want to increase their existing manufacturing capacity, and if they want to install new machineries or to increase the existing machineries capacities, so the operational strategy can suggest the management, we have to replace or we have to reinstall new machineries. We have to increase existing capacity of our production plant. So it can suggest the management, and it can provide some detailed information to the management about omissions sense, if they want to remove anything from their existing production plant, like old machineries and the troubled machineries, so they can omit. So it can provide, the operation strategy can provide some detailed informations, any existing problems, so they can suggest, and any improvement areas in the primary strategies. Developing smart plan to deliver the outcome. So to achieve these smart objectives, so the operation strategy can deliver some sort of suggestions. Implementing the action plan and measuring the results against predefined goals and key performance indicators. So business organization, they have a key performance indicators, KPIs. So these KPIs are already defined, predefined. So these are some performance measures or indicators which can be achieved while they are operating or while they are executing their business operation. These key performance indicators should be achieved. So this operation strategy, by implementing this operation strategy, the action plan and measuring the results against predefined goals and key performance indicators. So predefined key performance indicators are there, and for each and every execution, so activities or actions, so they can measure its performance. What is the actual performance? What is the expected performance? Why this gap? Why these deviations? What is the shortcoming, or what is the reason for these deviations? So all this kind of information we can get from this operation strategy. Okay, now we are going to discuss about the components of operation strategy. So what are the components? So elements comes under this operation strategy. So you know, this operation strategy is the functional level strategy. So basically it is a routine strategy. Routine strategy means for business operations, so they are routinely involving some operational activities like manufacturing or delivering goods, delivering services, offering the services. So functional level strategy. So this operation strategy can include the following components, such as designing and positioning the production system. So if it is a manufacturing firm, for their operation strategy, it has include the designing and positioning the production system. Production system mean, so the production plant, the production plant capacity, and the machineries, the existing facilities, capacities. So all these kind of aspect. So design of an production system, how they are going to manufacture their product, how they are going to get the inventories, how they are going to store these inventories, and on what basis they are going to use the inventories, like first in, first out, or first in, last out kind of strategies to handle their inventories, and manufacturing process. In this manufacturing process, batch processing or any kind of any systematic processing systems, and their existing capacities to manufacture, and the management of this production plant. So everything comes under this designing and positioning the production system. The next one is the focusing production or manufacturing and service facilities. So focusing on the production of manufacturing and service facilities. So they have to think about the capacity, the manufacturing of production capacities or service facilities, number of employees, and strategies. If they want to increase their manufacturing, how many employees they need? Additionally, how many employees they need? And how many volumes of materials, raw materials they need? How many units of material they need? How they are going to get from the suppliers? All this aspect, focusing production or manufacturing and service facilities, existing facilities. And the design and development of product or service. Design and development of product or service. So this is basically include the product design, its specifications, or the service. If they are offering the service, the service maintaining the qualities and meeting the quality parameters. So design and development of product or service related aspect. Selection of technology and process development. The next one is the selection of technology and process development. So for the production operation function, sometimes they have to include the technology. So if they are including the technology, so what sort of technology they are using? So if there is any new changes or new addition or new development in the technology, are we going to adapt these technologies? So selection of technology and the process development. So if there is any new technological improvement, technological advancement, so are we going to replace our existing technology? How we are going to replace it? So redesigning our existing process. So re-engineering, business process re-engineering. Sometimes you might heard about business process re-engineering. So existing process, the manufacturing process is going to change. So in a sense, re-engineering their existing process. So selection of technology and process development. So sometimes the new technology can eliminate the number of steps or number of existing processes. So then we can maximize, or we can utilize, we can enjoy some sort of efficiencies. In a way, we can cut down the cost, we can eliminate number of employees, human working hours, or we may eliminate some overhead cost. So some efficiencies, selection of technology and process development. Sometimes it can increase the manufacturing time. Manufacturing time sense, it can reduce the number of hours required to manufacture product. Like let's say to the existing capacity, existing process, assume that to manufacture 1 unit of product, 5 hours is required. After including or after incorporating, or if you are implementing new technology, the advanced technology, it can, the number of hours can be reduced by 2 hours. So 3 hours is 3 hours to manufacture one goods, 2 hours is reduced. So it can increase our speed. So, and also it can increase our manufacturing capacity also. Selection of technology and process development. Resource allocations. Resource allocation sense, there are various kind of resources like human resources and financial resources, and some capacities, existing capacities, manufacturing capacities, and how we are going to utilize these resources. So schedules for resource allocations, optimization, machinery optimizations, machine utilizations. So machines, equipments, and all kind of tools. So these all are the resources, resource allocations, optimizing and using these resources. The next one is planning of capacity, facility, and layout. So previously also I mentioned some of the related points for this planning of capacity. So each and every manufacturing plant has its own capacity. So per day, assume that it can manufacture 1,000 units. So planning of capacity. So this 1,000 units with the existing human power, employees, how we can increase the volumes. So planning of capacity, or how we can extend or increase the capacity, existing capacities, installing new machineries. So any kind of replacing or changing the old machineries. So planning of capacity and facilities in layout. So this all talks about the production plant, increasing the capacity of a production plant. So planning of capacity, facilities, and layout. So basically, for a business organization, operation strategy can include the following aspect or the components. Got the idea? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Got the idea? Hello?
Yeah, got it.
So then shall we move into this next slide?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. By 9:30, we will go for a break. Huh? So half an hour. After half an hour, we'll go for a break. Okay. We looked at the components which can be included in an operation strategy. Now we are going to move into this next slide. That is operation strategy, designing operation strategy. So after that, we are going to discuss some of the real cases, real organizations, how they have designed their operation strategy. Okay, designing the operation strategy. So from the previous slide, you can understand operation strategy is the functional level strategy. So the operation strategy is derived from the business strategy. So top level strategy is the business strategy, corporate level strategy. So it defines the long range plan for an organization. From the business strategy, operation strategy is derived. And basically this operation strategy is a plan for the operation function. It focusing the specific competitive priorities. So I have already mentioned the competitive priorities in order to meet the long range plan. The competitive priorities are cost, quality, time, and flexibility. These are the competitive priorities for an organizations. And design of the operations function. Design of the operation function. So in designing the operation function, operation strategy, it developed to focus on the identified competitive priorities. So sorry, competitive properties. So competitive properties mean developed to focus on the identified competitive properties. In a sense, they may focus on this cost and quality, time and flexibility, structure. So they can, when they are designing this operation function, operation strategy, so they may focus on these facilities, existing facilities, flow of goods, technology, all these aspects they have to consider. And existing infrastructure, in a sense, planning and control system, infrastructure sense, the resource also comes under this infrastructure, workers and pay and quality. So these are some of the aspects they have to consider when they are designing their operation strategy. Okay, this is how business organizations are designing their operation strategy. So the top level strategy is the business strategy. From the top level strategy, they are deriving the business strategy. And when they are designing this business strategy, operation strategy, they have to consider this competitive priorities, cost, quality, time, and flexibility. And when they are designing this operation strategy, operation function of an organizations. So they have to consider the following aspect like structure and infrastructure. Structure mean the existing facilities and flow of goods and technology aspect, and infrastructure mean the resources and their planning and control system of an operation function. Okay, from this slide, we are going to study some real organization, how they have designed their operation strategy. So now here, look at here. Okay, next slide is the real case. So this is one, this slide will give you some overall idea about this operation strategy. So when they are designing this operation strategy, so what are the aspects they can consider? Okay, so corporate level strategy is the superior strategy or a top level strategy, corporate strategy. And from the corporate strategy, the business strategy is there. Sometimes we may refer the corporate strategy and business strategy at the same, or sometimes the corporate strategy is somehow different from the business strategy. Okay. So corporate strategy, from the corporate strategy, they have their own business strategy. And for the business strategy, they are considering some competencies. And from the business strategy, actually, they are going to, from the business strategy, they are going to manufacture or produce some product or deliver some services. So product or service plan. And competitive priorities. So when they are manufacturing and when they are delivering the services, so they have to consider these competitive priorities like cost, flexibility, time, and quality. And by considering these competitive priorities, they have their own operation strategy to run their operational department or functional division operations. So they have a operation strategy. In their operation strategy, or when they are developing this operation strategy, they have to consider the following aspect like production plan, process decisions, quality decisions, outsourcing, product plans, and the capacity decisions. So facility planning, layout, locations, operating decisions, technology decision, resource planning. So this all we have already discussed the components of an operation strategy. So operation strategy, they have to think about this production plan. So what is their scheduling for the productions? So if they are production based on the daily basis, how many units they are manufacturing? So, or if they are manufacturing based on the weekly basis, how many units they are manufacturing for weeks, first week, second week, third week, how many units they are manufacturing to meet their market demand. So if they are manufacturing monthly basis, how many units they have to produce for each month? So production plan, process decisions, and sort of manufacturing process decisions, scheduling, resource allocations, and process manufacturing plant related decisions. Quality decisions, how they can maintain the quality aspect, quality checkings, and unit checking, phase checking. So to meet or to make sure their quality aspect, the quality decisions in their manufacturing process. Outsourcing, in a sense, if they want to hire any services from outside, from third-party vendors, so outsourcing procedures. So for the manufacturing process, if they want to hire any services which is not available inside the organizations, so they have to outsource. If they are outsourcing these services, they have to pay for the service. So hiring, how long we are hiring? So do we need this service for the entire month or the entire year, or we need this service only for the short period of time, the period of time? So outsourcing and its payment. If we are keeping this outsourced service inside our organizations, do we want to bear up any additional cost? Outsourcing. Or by looking the possible time, so we can hire this service for the required and appropriate time, and we can utilize this outsourced service, and after that we can hand over, we can return to the service providers. So we don't need to bear up the additional cost or some service charges or some maintenance cost. So outsourcing, all these kind of decisions. Product plans. So previous one is the production plan. The second one is the product plans. The unit of how many units we are producing. So to meet 1 month demand in the market, how many units we have to manufacture. So what period we are going to manufacture, daily basis or weekly basis, how many units we are producing, all these kind of decisions. The capacity decisions. So existing capacity, facility planning, layout and locations. So if we are having multiple manufacturing plant, and we have to think about the capacity. So the plant A, how many units we can manufacture in a month. In plant B, how many units we can manufacture the same month. So sometimes the plant capacities vary or different based on their facilities. The plant A can manufacture only 5,000 units. Plant B can manufacture 10,000 units. So the plant capacity decisions. And locations. It is also very much important, like the manufacturing plant locations. If our customer is near, or if our market is near, and we have to think about the logistic transportations and cost, getting the inventories, maintaining the inventories, manufacturing and deliver to the end users like a market. So cost, locations, all these aspects we have to consider. Operating decisions. So this is regarding the operational, the managerial level decisions, operating decisions, running the manufacturing plant, operation plant, so production plant, operating decisions, when to manufacture, and think about the possible time to manufacture, and all these kind of decisions. Technology decisions. So as I mentioned earlier, technological related, new advanced, so sophisticated technology, if any sophisticated technology is available. So technology related decision they have to take for their machineries, for their equipments, for their plant, for their redesigning process, technology related decisions, and their benefits and cost, investment or related information. Resource planning. So as I mentioned earlier, there are various kind of resources like a human resource, a capital resource, and facility related, machinery related resources, and utilization and allocation and timely use of these resources, resource planning. Okay, the operation strategy can include the following aspect when they are designing or when they are developing an operation strategy. Got the idea? Have you got the idea? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Have you got the idea?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, great. So then we will move into this next slide. As I mentioned earlier, this is one example from the industry. So example of operation strategy from the McDonald's. So operation strategy of McDonald's. So we looked at the competitive priorities. Competitive priorities are cost and time, quality, and the flexibility. So the McDonald's, they have designed or they have developed their operation strategy by looking these competitive priorities. Cost mean reducing the cost, cut down the cost reduction. So how they are reducing their cost? Use of efficient equipment. So they are using efficient equipment to reduce their cost. Direct purchase from the farmer. So they need raw materials. So those raw materials are directly purchased from the farmers or the suppliers, the farmers, not suppliers, the farmers, directly they are purchasing from the farmers. So then they are eliminating unwanted intermediary cost. So if they are getting from the intermediaries, so they have to bear up additional cost. So to reduce this cost, the McDonald is directly purchased from the farmers, direct purchase from farmers. Low cost supply chain. The low cost supply chain mean, so you might heard about the term supply chain. So this is the kind of channel in between supplier and the actual firm. So they are choosing the low cost supply chain, in a sense, try to directly purchase from the supplier. So without intermediaries, or by eliminating these intermediaries or agent, so they can directly purchase from the suppliers. So then they can enjoy some sort of benefit from their supply chain. So low cost supply chain. Just in time strategy. So they are producing the product just in time. In a sense, they are not going to keep their finished product in the store. So when they are receiving the orders only, they are preparing the menus. So just in time strategy. So from the customers, they are collecting the order. When they are, once they collect the order from the customers only, they are producing the meals and the menus. So just in time strategy. So no need to store their finished product in the storage. So then they can avoid unwanted storage cost. So they are enjoying the cost benefit. So by implementing cost cutting in these areas like equipment, direct purchase from the farmers, low cost supply chain, and just in time strategy, just in time production operations. So they are enjoying the cost cut, cost reducing the cost. Okay, let's move to this less serving time. Time. So time is another factor. Less serving time. So actually, this is a McDonald. So they are very fast and accurate, friendly services. In a sense, they are real stores or restaurants, and the customers are visiting, and they are collecting the orders or customer orders from the customers, and in their what do you call this, the physical place, physical restaurant or physical locations, or they are collecting the orders from the customers in online, any mobile platform or any online platform, and quickly they are delivering the menus or the meals, fast, accurate, friendly services. So collecting the orders within the short period of time, they are preparing the meals or menus and they are delivering. So fast, accurate, friendly services. And when they are delivering the meals or menus to the online customers or mobile customers, friendly services. Quickly they are delivering. Within short period of time, they are delivering their menus. So fast, accurate, friendly services. Ready to serve product or services. So they are offering their services for some period of time, like their restaurant is open for 24 hours, ready to serve product or services. So they are available all the time. So there is no, close or shut down. Like they are opening their restaurant for 7 days, 24 hours. So ready to serve product and services at any time. They are ready to serve their customers. So less serving time. High quality. In a sense, in this quality, they are implementing this 5PC policy. 5 pieces. What are those 5 pieces? What are those 5 pieces? They are going to implement this quality aspect. They are going to meet these quality parameters in these 5 pieces. What are those 5 pieces?
product, place, price, promotion.
Exactly. So these are 5 pieces. You might heard about these 5 pieces in your marketing subject also: product, price, promotion, place, people. So these are the 5 pieces. In these 5 pieces, they are going to implement, or they are going to meet their quality parameters. Quality product, and introducing the price, promotions, and the place and people. Quality centers. So they are maintaining quality in a sense, neat, hygiene, and clean environments. So quality centers, quality parameters. Even in their packing, so they are maintaining some quality. Flexibility. The next one is the flexibility. Mixed flexibility, products flexibility, volume flexibility. Mixed flexibility, products flexibility mean, so they have various kind of menus, and they are ready to serve it any number of menus for the customer orders, customer demand. And volume flexibility, they can able to produce the menus within short period of time, and the required volume of menus. So volume flexibility. So they are not stick into, or they are not limited to the particular amount. So they are ready to, in their flexibility, they are ready to serve the required number of volume menus. So they are ever ready to serve for their customers. Flexibility. So the McDonald's, you see, the biggest, the grand restaurant. So they are maintaining. So they are designed their operation strategy in the following competitive priorities, like cost, time, quality, and the flexibility. So these are their, this is how they have designed their operation strategy, by looking their competitive priorities. What the idea? Hello? 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 Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
What the idea?
Yeah.
Okay, great. The same as we are going to discuss about the Dell also, the Dell company. So the Dell company, you might heard about the biggest and the well-known PC manufacturer in the PC market. They are the leading company. How they have enjoyed, or how they have optimized their operation strategy, or how they have become as a market leader in the PC manufacturing industry. So basically the Dell company, so they also implemented some sort of strategy in their inventory management. Inventory management. So they implemented the just-in-time manufacturing strategy. So then they don't need to keep the finished PCs, computers, personal computers and laptops at the store. They don't need to maintain the inventories. So just-in-time manufacturing. So Dell managed to have a cost advantage due to no excess of inventories. So inventory management. So once they receive the orders from the customers only, so within short period of time, they manufacture their laptops and PCs. So they don't want to maintain the inventories. So inventory control, inventory management. And for the raw materials, for this raw materials, once they receive the order from the customers only, they ordered the raw materials from the suppliers, like electronic chips, motherboard, and some other accessories to manufacture these computers and laptops. They ordered from the suppliers. They received the inventory, raw materials from the suppliers, and within short period of time, they manufacture these finished goods. And after that, they supply to their customers. So inventory management. Likewise, direct selling. rather than selling their finished goods like laptops and PCs, personal computers, and some other server machines, they directly sell to the end users, customers. So then there is no intermediaries. So eliminating the intermediaries. So then the customers also can get reduced cost. I mean, the in price is reduced by eliminating these intermediaries. So directly selling to the customers. So customers can easily place the order from Dell website, and they can get the product. Direct selling. So it significantly reduced cost by taking intermediaries such as retailers and wholesalers out of the selling process. Okay. And the manufacturing locations. Dell established the manufacturing locations based on the customer base. Like you see, let's say they realize that they have a customers, they have a customer base from some countries like India. So they have huge customer base. And China, they have huge customer base. And region wise, they established the manufacturing locations. So assume that if Dell company only manufacture their PCs and laptops in US, so it is very difficult for them to send their finished good to other countries. And it will take time also. And it will add some extra cost, in a sense, logistics, in a sense, some additional transportations cost. So ultimately it will increase the finished good price. What they did was they established the manufacturing location based on their customer bases, like the customer based countries like India, China, and Europe, US. So likewise, they established their manufacturing locations based on customer base, and they minimized the shipping cost and improve their delivery responses. Very quickly they can supply the finished goods, and so ultimately it can increase their sales, and their product is compared to their PCs. Dell PCs are compared to other competitors, comparatively it is price is reduced. So these are some of the strategies Dell company implemented in their operations, like inventory management, direct selling, and manufacturing location, establishing the manufacturing location. So then they enjoyed huge profit and benefits in their business operations. Got the idea? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Sir.
Got the idea?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So shall we go for a break for 10 minutes? Do you want break or shall I continue? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. We need.
Yeah, shall we go for a break for 10 minutes time? After that, we'll continue. Huh? Okay, let's go for a break for 10 minutes. Hello? Shall we start?
Okay, sir.
Okay, great. How about others? Others, shall we start?
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Okay. So welcome back. We looked at the Dell company as a case, how they have enjoyed some efficiencies in their operations. Now we are going to discuss about perspective in operation strategy. Before that, tips on how to successfully execute an operation strategy. So some sort of idea or some tips how to successfully execute an operational strategy. So setting the appropriate strategic objective at the beginning. So it is a must to set or follow appropriate strategic objectives at the very beginning. So basically this operational strategy derived from the business strategy, so corporate strategy. So setting the appropriate strategic objectives at the beginning. Break down the 3 to 5 years strategic objectives. So the entire strategy can be break down into smaller target period. Break down 3 to 5 years strategic objectives into shorter time frames to add focus and emphasize on delivery. So if the focus is, if the target is for short period, which can be easily achievable. In a sense, we can target more, we can focus more on that short period of target, and we can try to achieve that objective, strategic objectives. Review the existing programs and project for alignment with a newly defined strategy. So time to time, we have to review existing program and project. So time to time, we have to, the operation managers has to review existing program and project. So then they can measure or they can align with the newly defined strategies, whether they are aligned with a new strategy or whether they are deviate from the strategy. So what are the reasons for these deviations? How we can rectify these deviations? So all these can possible when they are continuously reviewing the existing program and project. High levels of understanding and ownership of the strategy deployment process throughout the hierarchy and across different operations. In a sense, the organization and employees, they must understand what is going on. So what is the actual process? Who's leading? So where are we now? So what is the current status? How long we have to travel more? So what are the barriers we are facing? What sort of support we need from the management? All they have to understand. So high level of understanding and ownership of the strategy deployment process throughout the hierarchy and across different operations. In a sense, for business operation, I mean operation department, it depends on some other functional areas also. As I mentioned earlier, the marketing department and the finance department. So they have to get the support, they have to get the cooperation from other functional areas and other operation departments. So then they can implement and deploy their operation strategy smoothly. A robust and structured mechanism to track progress throughout the year. So they must develop a mechanism to track, to trace the progress. And time to time, they have to measure the progress. And they have to find the deviations. They have to make sure whether they achieve the KPIs. They are achieving the KPIs within the specified time period. So everything support help for them to execute the operational strategy more successfully. Okay, these are some of the tips to successfully execute an operation strategy. Good idea. Hello? Hello? So these are some of the ideas or some of the tips to execute the operation strategy more successfully. And now we are going to discuss about perspectives, 4 perspectives in operation strategy. You know this operation strategy. There are 4 perspectives. The first one is top down and the bottom up, market procurement, operation resources. So these are the 4 perspectives in an operation strategy. Top down sense, operation strategy should interpret higher level strategy. It means, as you all know, operation strategy is derived from the business strategy or a corporate strategy. So top down, from the top to down, operation strategy should interpret higher level strategies. So it means the operation strategy reflect from the business strategy or corporate level strategy, top level higher strategy. So top down, from the top to down, top down. Operation strategy should interpret higher level strategies. So in the higher level strategy only, they have long-term plan. To achieve this long-term plan, they have mentioned, they have included strategies, various kind of strategies, and some of the strategies are the operation strategies, which are stated in the higher level strategies. So operation strategy should interpret higher level strategy. Bottom up. First we looked at the top down, from the top to down. Now we are going to discuss about bottom up, from the bottom to top, bottom up. Operation strategy should learn from day-to-day experiences. Yeah, this is exactly the learning environment. Operation strategy should learn from day-to-day experiences. In a sense, they have to get some exposure, some success stories, some failures, some cases, and some routine lessons from the bottom. Operation strategy should learn from day-to-day experiences. Day-to-day, they may come across various situations, various learnings, various experiences, various kind of practices, various abnormal situations. So from that day-to-day routines, experiences, operation strategy should learn. So assume that if there is a new situation in future, how we are going to solve this issue. This issue is new to this particular phenomenon. Say for example, the COVID situations. So sudden and new situation for all business organization. From this day-to-day operations, they have to learn from this experience, this current situations, and they have to formulate some strategies to tackle if there is a similar kind of situation in future, how we can surmount, how we can face this similar kind of problems if it is occur in future. Okay, bottom up, from the bottom to up, and this bottom up experiences must be transmitted for top level management for the policy making, strategy formulations, and those people will take some options or some strategies to handle and to manage in future for this kind of same kind of problem and issues. So we looked at top down and bottom up. The next one is the market requirement. From the market requirement, so there are market called dynamic market, heterogeneous market, ambiguous. In a sense, the market condition is dynamic. It is not steady, it is dynamic. Time to time, the technological improvements, technological advancement, customer behaviors, competitive nature, and various outside forces changing, altering the market conditions. So dynamic market. Heterogeneous. So various groups are there, various customer bases are there, various competitors. So heterogeneous market. And ambiguous. Market is not steady. So time to time it is varying. Time to time it is changing. So ambiguous. We cannot forecast how much will be the future sales. Ambiguous. It is not fixed. It is ambiguous. So from the market requirement, operation strategy should satisfy the organization market. So the operation strategy must handle all these abnormal situation, abnormal conditions, dynamic market, heterogeneous market, and ambiguous. So it has to, the operation strategy must be ready to support or must be ready to handle all these uncontrollable situations. So market requirements. So operation strategy should satisfy the organization market. So in a dynamic environment, heterogeneous environment, and ambiguous, it must be ready to support the particular organization's market, organization market. Operation resources. So here the difficult to change. The difficult to change mean the existing process cannot be easily changed, difficult to change, because our employees are resistant to change. Our employees are not ready to go for innovations. Our employees are not ready to adapt new technologies. So difficult to change. Technically constrained, in a sense, the particular companies not capable to go for a technical improvement like they are lacking in a technologies, improved technologies. So they have some constraint in the technology. So those factors also has to be considered. And complex sense, so they may have the complex situation in changing or in implementing redesigning process, business process re-engineering, redesigning process. So various complex situations. Sometimes they are in the manual process, and the computerized or computer-based or computer-aided production process, they are not ready to implement quickly because they have many resistance and many constraints in their organizational setting. So complex situations. So operation resources. Operation strategy should build on operation capabilities. So the operation strategy must focus on operation resources, and the operation strategy should be built on the existing operation capabilities. So by looking all the factors, and they have to see the possible conditions for the possible scenarios, and they have to think about the existing shortcomings, and how or what impact they will face in future if they are changing or altering the existing process. So they have to measure all the negative consequences, and they have to build a operation strategy. So operation strategy should be built on operation capabilities. So these are the 4 perspectives in operation strategy. The first one is the top down, and the second one is the top down sense. The operation strategy should reflect from the top level strategy, high level strategy. Bottom up, from the operation strategy should learn from the day-to-day routine and experiences, market requirement for the varying kind of situation, market situation or conditions. The operation strategy should support for particular organization to safeguard their market segment or a market share, and the operation resources by looking their existing constraint and the difficulties and the complexities. The operation strategy should be built on the existing capabilities. So these are the 4 perspectives in operation strategy. Good idea. Hello. 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 Am I audible? Have you got the idea? Hello. Am I audible? Have you got the idea?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Shall we move into next slide?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Time to time, you have to give the response so then I can understand you people are listening this session. Okay, let's move to this next slide. Now we are going to discuss about the competitive advantage and core competencies. Okay, can you please tell me what is a competitive advantage? Any idea about this competitive advantage? Sorry. Any idea about this competitive advantage? Any idea about competitive advantage? Anyone knows? Any idea? What is competitive advantage?
So may I tell?
Yeah, sure.
The special talent or skill or the resource we have to compete with the market to get the better position.
Yeah, exactly. Good.
Okay, sir.
Any other idea? Sorry. Any other idea?
Resources we are having to differentiate ourselves from other organizations.
Exactly. Great. Any other idea? Any other idea? Any other idea? Competitive advantage. Okay, as you all said is correct. Competitive advantage. Simply we can define competitive advantage is the kind of ability or a compared to the competitor, the particular business organization is superior than others in terms of technology, in terms of quality, in terms of treating the customers, or in terms of innovations, or in terms of manufacturing new product. So they are good at compared to other competitors in the market, same market, compared to other competitors, they are good at, or they are superior than other competitors. So there are three ways that firms strategize to meet missions. So either they can differentiate from other companies or other product differentiations. They can implement this as differentiations, cost leadership in the market. So they can be the cost leader in a sense. They are offering the product with a lower price, cost leadership, and response. So response and so providing services, better services, or responding their customers in a efficient manner. So these are the three different kind of strategies business firms can follow to compete other competitive organization: differentiation strategies, cost leadership, and response. So the operation managers turn this into tasks to be completed in order to deliver goods and services very cheaper sense, cost leadership. Better mean differentiations. Better mean compared to other competitors, better product, differentiated product, new features are there. Better or more responsively. More responsively mean response. So responding customers very quickly, more responsively. So by looking the above three strategies: cost leadership, differentiation, and response, the operation managers turn into like offering the product and services, very cheaper product and services. They're offering the product better services, better product and services, and more responsively, responding to customers' requirement very quickly. So a key factor in any of these strategies and tasks is to establish competitive advantage. So the ultimate purpose of following these strategies is to achieve the competitive advantage compared to other competitor, compared to other competitive firm. We are superior than them, superior than other competitive firms. So competitive strategies, competitive advantage. Competitive advantage is the creation of an exclusive advantage over competitors. So simply you can say it is the creation of an exclusive advantage over our competitors. In a sense, the previous example, the PC market, the Dell company has the competitive advantage, like their product is durable. Laptop PCs are durable compared to other PC manufacturers like HP, Acer, Toshiba, and some other Lenovo. So compared to other competitors, Dell has some sort of competitive advantage like the durability. And compared to the price, cost leadership, Dell compared to other laptop, Dell is compared to the price, their price is lower price. Okay, the previous case, McDonald's. Among the available restaurant, the McDonald's has the quality product, and they are having better customer service response, customer response, better customer service, and they have various kind of menus, meals. So differentiation, product differentiations, and they are the market leaders. So competitive advantage. Okay, I guess you might better understand about this competitive advantage from this example, and we have some more example in the future slide, and we will discuss the competitive advantage and core competencies a little later in detail. Okay, the strategic operation management decisions. So for the competitive advantage, to achieve this competitive advantage, strategic operation management decisions. So these are the some of the 7 areas, 7 major functional areas. The operation management should focus. There were 3 concepts come into play as operation managers make good decisions in the 7 major functional areas of an operation management. Those are the product and service management. Product and service management. So in the product and service management, if they want to achieve the competitive advantage, so they have to focus what good or service do we offer and what is the design of it. So if they want to maintain the competitive advantage, if they want to enjoy the competitive advantage, then they are competitors. So they have to focus the product and service management, and they have to decide what good or service we are offering to our customers and what is the design of it, and what sort of design, the packaging, and all these aspects they have to consider. And the operation and supply chain management. In the operation and the supply chain management, if they want to enjoy some competitive advantage over their competitors, should we make or buy what we need to produce our good or service. So whether we are manufacturing the goods or are we going to buy from the other suppliers and we are going to sell it as an intermediary? Are we going to function as an intermediary organization? Should we make or buy what we need to produce our goods or services? If we purchase it, who can supply it? Okay, so if you are purchasing from the suppliers, and from whom we are going to buy it? Who is going to supply the raw material for us for our manufacturing process? So competitive advantage. In a sense, if we are maintaining the efficient supply chain management system, so then we can enjoy some competitive advantage. In a sense, we can reduce unwanted cost, and ultimately it will impact on our finished good price. So efficient supply chain management. Inventory management. How much should we keep on hand? When do we pre-order? Inventory management sense, so raw materials. So how many raw materials we have to keep in our hand? And if we are keeping many inventories, I mean huge quantity of inventory in our hand, so it will create some unwanted cost like storage and the lightning, insurance, and some other wastage, some other losses, so maintenance, so additional cost. And even the company has to block or spend huge capital to purchase this inventory. Sometime if we are if the company is paying the money for this inventory, so they are blocking huge capital on the inventory, and the blocked capital is still unrealized. In a sense, it is invested on the inventory only, raw material only. So sometimes they may face some difficulties in cash flows, cash management, and budgetary control. So this is also will create some unwanted cost and difficulties. And when do we reorder? And also they have to look at the market situations and the customer, the product demand in the market, and they have to decide how many units we have to produce for this month, how many units we have to produce for this week, and when we have to reorder it. So they have to decide in an appropriate time, other than keeping the unused raw material in the inventory, I mean warehouse or some storage places. So they have to decide in appropriate time to order the inventory. So it will increase some efficiencies. Forecasting, capacity planning. Forecasting and capacity planning. What does the short-term and long-term schedule look like? And how much can we make in what period of time? So forecasting and capacity planning. So they have to forecast the market demand, how many units will require in future month for the future month, and what is the current market situation, how about the customer preferences, how about the customer behavior, whether we are having the same or we are having the steady demand in our market for our product, whether is there any fluctuation in the market, whether customers are choosing on other product, whether is there any other new product in the market. So we have to consider all these factors. So forecasting and capacity planning. So based on the forecasting, we have to plan how much we have to produce, how much, if you are producing, how much we have to get from the suppliers as a raw material, everything. So it will increase the efficiency, and they can enjoy some sort of cost leadership or some efficiencies in their operations. Operation scheduling. What do we need for materials and person? So scheduling sense for the manufacturing process, the resource allocations. So how many unit of material we need, how many employees we need, so how many machine hours we need, everything they have to schedule. Management of quality. What quality systems should be used? What impact does quality have on our organizations? So they have to check, they have to think about the possibilities to include these quality parameters. So management of quality, to maintain the quality, they have to take appropriate decision in the appropriate time. Facilities planning and management. How is the facility used in productions? What is its relationship to other resources? How should it be arranged? So facilities and existing manufacturing capacities, the machine conditions, and everything they have to manage. So these are some of the operation management related aspect. Operation manager can focus to take some strategic operation management related decisions to enjoy or to safeguard the competitive advantage in their manufacturing process. What idea? Hello? 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 These all are the operation management related aspect. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Got the idea?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Shall we move into next slide?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Okay, sure. Okay. So far we looked at the competitive advantage. Now we are going to move into this core competencies. So competitive advantage and core competencies, not a similar term, but sometimes these are used as a synonyms, but not as synonyms. So the meanings can be reflected. Core competencies. What do you mean by these core competencies? Any idea? Core competencies.
The main advantage we have.
Exactly.
Sorry.
The main
Okay.
advantage.
Yeah.
Simply we may say the ability, set of talent, set of skills a particular organization possesses. Core competencies are the set of skills, talent, and activities that a firm does extremely well. So they are good at in its innovations. They are good at in their customer, treating the customers. They are good at in implementing its technology. So core competencies are the set of skills, talent, and activities that a firm does extremely well. So they are good at in particular aspect. These are the building block for competitive advantage and set it apart. So these are the basic for the competitive advantage. Core competencies are also known as distinctive competencies. It is unique for that particular organization. This core competency is unique for that particular organization. So they are unique, which can range from a company offering excellent services, higher quality, faster service, lower cost than their competitors. So it is distinguished. It is distinctive competencies. So it is unique for that particular business organizations. The company has leveraged their superior product development as their core competency. So compared to other competitors in the market, this particular company is superior, excellent, superior in designing the product development. It is their unique advantage, unique competency, core competency. So for example, in the technology industry, a particular organization, say for example, the Dell, in the previous case, the Dell PC manufacturing market, a company can fetch to market with the latest innovative product, such as tablets, multi-use laptops, smartwatches, and even personal robots. So a particular, let's say this Dell company, which is the market leader, and they are introducing the latest innovative product like a tablet laptops, laptops, multi-use laptops, multi-purpose laptops, and a smartwatch, and even personal robots, some personal assistant kind of facilities, features. So these are their core competencies. So they are good at in introducing the new technologies. This particular Dell company is good at, compared to other companies, it is superior and in introducing their innovations. Oh, these are some of the examples from the industry. You might heard about these companies, Honda. In the automobile industry, the Honda is very much popular, and their core competency is they are having the superior engines. The automobile in the industry, Honda, they have a core competency. They are designing the powerful and superior engines. So they are the leaders in the market, automobile market. And the Nestle company, in the Nestle company, they have a core competency like their product, they are maintaining quality in terms of hygiene and health, and contributing increase and also supporting customers, and they are maintaining good customer relationship, so satisfying their customers. So Nestle company, so this is their core competencies. And Google, we all are using this Google services like Google search engine, Google Map, Google Gmail services, and cloud storage, and Google Docs, and Google various kind of YouTube. So we are enjoying these Google services, and their core competency is in the technology of the firm industry. So they have a core competency. Their service is pliable, like they have a scalable hardware infrastructure. So compared to other competitive firms in the market, technology market, so the Google has a solid and scalable hardware infrastructure, and their software, like the services, software services are highly admirable. Like they are introducing innovative services for the customers, their users, and they are offering more valuable tech services for the customers. So these are the core competencies of this Google company. So these are some of the example organizations, and we looked at their core competencies. So this particular company is superior, and they are performing in this particular aspect better than other competitors. Core competencies. Got the idea? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Got the
Yes,
idea?
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So with that, we are going to move into this next part of this session, that is productivity. So now we are going to discuss about productivity. Okay, so what is productivity? We looked at operation strategy and the components of operation strategy, developing an operation strategy, and we looked at competitive advantage, core competencies, and some of the areas in the operation strategy to achieve this competitive advantage. And now we are going to discuss about productivity. So what is productivity? Why we have to measure this productivity? Any idea? Productivity?
It's a ratio between the output and input.
Okay, great.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Tell me. It's a ratio between output and input. Exactly.
For the resource management, the organizations they consider about the productivity. So for the by the 1 unit of the resource, how much of the product they can produce, that is defined by the productivity.
Productivity, exactly. Okay. Any other idea? Exactly. Productivity is a relationship between the outputs and the product or services, the produced product or delivered services, output, and the input. Input means the resources consumed in manufacturing or in providing the services of a business system. So basically, the productivity is defined as the ratio measure of output divided by input. Output divided by input. So basically, the productivity is measured because by measuring the productivity, the business organization efficiency can be calculated. Productivity measures the performance of the organization process for doing their business activities. So productivity is relatively easy to measure for physical goods. Sometimes for some services, productivity cannot be measured, or it is difficult to measure some service productivity. So for example, the service like healthcare services and educations. So it is difficult to measure the output and the input. So various resources are used in that process. So the benefits derived from higher productivity. So when we know this productivity, the productivity is a measure to evaluate the efficiency of business operations. So by having this productivity, the benefits of this productivity, by measuring the productivity, so what are the benefits a business organization can enjoy? So it helps to cut down cost per unit and thereby improve the profit. So by measuring the productivity, we can look at whether the particular business operation or business activity is profitable or not. So it helps to cut down the cost per unit and thereby improve the profit. So if the company able to cut down the cost, indirectly they are going to increase their profit. So helps to cut down the cost per unit and thereby increasing the profit. It gains from productivity, so can be transmitted to the consumers in the form of lower price product, so better quality services. In a sense, if we can improve our efficiency, I mean productivity, the customers can get low price product, or sometimes they can enjoy the quality services, quality product, better quality product. So by measuring or by calculating this productivity, we can improve the efficiency. So then less price product can be reached to our customers. These gains can also be shared with workers, so employees, by paying them at higher rate. By calculating the employee productivity, I mean to manufacture this particular 1 unit of product, how many human hours used. So then if we can able to improve this productivity here, the efficiency, the benefit can be shared with our employees also in a form of higher rate, higher pay for our employees. A more productive entrepreneur can have better chance to exploit opportunities. So if you can measure, if an entrepreneur, if he can able to measure his productivity and if he can able to increase his efficiency, so then he can exploit, he can optimize the available opportunities, so then he can enjoy much profit on his business. Overall, the productivity reflects the efficiency of production system. In overall, in total, the productivity reflects the efficiency of production system. So then we can measure this productivity for various factors like machinery, labors, and some other cost, and we can find the ratio, and ultimately we can the efficiency of the production system can be measured and improved. Now we will measure the productivity, measuring the productivity. As you said earlier, it's a ratio. Productivity is a measure of how efficiently inputs are converted to output. So productivity is equal, output is divided by input. So in another way, we can write this productivity on aggregated basis or individual basis. So if you aggregate, if you are using the productivity as aggregated basis, so we call it total productivity. Or if you are measuring the productivity for some factors only, we call it partial productivity. So total productivity, the total productivity measure is measured by total output is divided by total input. So if it is a total output, the extended version is total production of goods and services, total production, total cost, sorry, total output, and a total input is, we can write this a total input as the type of input we use for this production process, like labor, materials, capital, energy, management, and so on. So these are some of the input we use for this output. So here we can measure this productivity in two types. The first is aggregated manner. If it is aggregated manner, it is a total productivity measure. Otherwise, we can measure this productivity for some individual factors. Like if you are measuring the productivity for some individual factors, they call it partial productivity measure. So here we looked at the formula for the total productivity. The total output is divided by total input is total productivity. Now, here you see the productivity, total productivity measure, total productivity. Sometime we may say the total output is equal to sales and inputs is usual input. So we can say the total productivity measure is equal, total output is equal to total sales divided by input. Sometime we may calculate the individual productivity. We call it partial productivity. Partial productivity is equal. We are calculating the productivity for some factors. So total number of car manufactured, number of employees used for this manufacturing process. So total number of car manufactured divided by number of employees used. So this is partial productivity. Sometimes we may use some other factors like let's say car divided by number of machine hours, So partial productivity measurement, multi-factor productivity measurement. So in this case, we are including some factors, some combination of factors like multi-factor productivity, sales, total output is equal sales, divided by total cost. Let's say we are going to measure this multi-factor productivity for our total sales divided by human and material and human and energy. So likewise, we can find the measure. Here is an example. A small example is given. Output and input production are given in the here. Here the finished units. The total output is 10,000, and work in progress is 2,500, and dividends 1,000. Bond and other incomes are not given. Okay. So the total output is how much? How much is the total output? Hello?
13,500.
13,500. So 10,000 plus 2,500 plus 1,000, 13,500 is the total output. To get this output, the company used some of the input resources like human resource 3,000, materials 153, capital 10,000, energy 540, other expenses 1,500. So these are the expenses. How much is the expenses? Input, total input. How much? 15,193. The total sum is how much? Sum is how much? Total input. Hello? 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 How much is the total cost or total input used for this process?
15,193.
Okay, great. So now we can apply the formula to calculate the total measure, total productivity. We know the formula. Total output is divided by total input. We have a total output 13,500 and total input is 15,193. So the 0.89 is the total productivity. Is it effective productivity or ineffective?
Ineffective
Why?
because it's lower than 0. The output is low, but input is high.
Lower than 0, lower than 1.
Lower than 1, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. So at least they must have a 1 as the productivity. If it means they are in the equal position, like their output is equal to input. When they are getting higher productivity over 1, I mean above 1, it means they have a effective productivity. So here in this case, when we are measuring this total productivity, we are getting 0.89. In a sense, our expenditure is higher than our income. Our output is lesser than our input. So now we can calculate the multi-factor measure. So as I mentioned earlier, the multi-factor measure can be, productivity can be measured for some combined input. So total productivity here 13,500, and for the multi-factor we are combining human as well as material. So how much the human, how much the material? Human is 3,000, material is 153. So 3,153. So we are getting the multi-factor productivity 4.28. Same as for the multi-factor measure, we are going to measure it for the finished unit and human and material. So previously we looked at for the multi-factor measurement for the total output. Now we are going to measure the total multi-factor measure productivity for finished units, finished good. So our finished good is 10,000 units, and human and material 3,153. So 3.17 is the productivity. So same as we can calculate some partial measure for energy and a total output. We have a total output 13,500 and energy. Here we use the energy for this total output 13,500, 540. So 25 is the productivity. So if you are going to measure the partial productivity for energy for the finished unit. So this time we have a finished units in our hand, 10,000 units, and energy we use for this finished goods 540. So we are getting 18.53. So this is one simple example to measure the productivity for an input and output. Okay, what the area? Hello?
Okay, sir.
Hello? What the area?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so these are the some measures to calculate the productivity. Okay, now one example is given. Can you please able to calculate the productivity for the following? A furniture manufacturing company has provided the following data. Compare the labor, raw materials, and supply in total. Labor, raw materials and supplies, and total productivity of 2019 and 2020. Can you able to calculate this productivity? At the same time, they have given the output, sales value of production in dollar in 2019, 22,000, and 2020, 35,000. What we have to do is we have to calculate the labor productivity and raw materials and supply productivity and total productivity for the year 2019 and 2020. Can you able to calculate it? Hello? 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 Can you able to calculate the productivity for the following aspect like labor, raw materials and supplies, and total productivity for the year 2019 and 2020? Hello? Anyone? Anyone got the answer? Anyone got the answer? Do you want the formula? Hello? Anyone got the answer? Hello, anyone got the answer? Okay, it's very simple.
So,
Yeah, tell me.
okay. Sorry for the delay, sir. Actually, for the 2019, the productivity is 1.052, and for the
Which one? Which one?
2019,
2019 total productivity.
yeah, total productivity
What is the amount?
0.52,
1.052. Okay.
and for 2020, 1.04.
Okay, great. Okay.
So comparatively, it's getting low. The productivity getting low.
Okay, great. Other productivities, labor productivity and raw material.
So I didn't calculate, sir.
So exactly. So it's very easy. Like you see,
Yeah.
this time our total productivity, total output is, in this case, 2019, the sales value is the total output. 22,000 is for 2019 and 35,000 is for 2020. And now they ask the labor productivity. So for labor productivity is the partial productivity. And here you see 22,000 divided by 10,000. In 2019, the labor cost is 10,000. So 22 divided by 10,000, 2.20 is the labor productivity. For the 2020, 35,000 is the sales amount. I mean the total output. We used labor 15,000 for 2020. So 35,000 is divided by 15,000. 2.33 is the labor productivity, partial productivity, labor productivity in 2020. So likewise, in 2019, raw material and supply productivity. So here we used 8,000 in 2019. So 22,000 divided by 8,000, 2.75. Similarly, in 2020, we used 12,500 as the raw materials and supplies in 2020. So 35,000 divided by 12,500, 3.80. And as I said, the total productivity for 2019. So we have to accumulate all these figures in 2019, 10,000, 8,700 and 2,200 divided by 22,000. And for the 2020, we have to accumulate all these 15,000, 12,500, 1,200 and 4,800, and it should be divided by 35,000 divided by this total accumulated amount for the total productivity in 2020. So this is the answer. Simple example. Good idea? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So now we have looked at this productivity and how to measure this productivity and the importance of measuring this productivity. We have a small case. Before that case, let me explain this, the last part of this session. That is, we will discuss the case at the end. 10 most common operational issues businesses face. So what are the 10 common operational issues, operation management related issues the business organization face in today's business environment. So what are those? The first one is the managing overhead. So for the managing overhead sense, can you please tell me what are overheads for a business organizations? What are overheads? What are the overheads?
Like electricity cost, rent payment, the indirect cost, maybe the overheads.
Yeah, exactly. For business organizations, so they have a administrative cost, electricity, rent, insurance, and some other security cost, indirect cost. So these are the overhead cost. So business organizations are facing some issues, the operational issues in managing the overheads. So what they have to do is they have to take the appropriate decisions to pay this overhead cost, and they have to cut down this overhead cost, and so then they can produce their what do you call this total cost. And monitoring performance. Here each and every business organization, they have some performance indicators, so key performance indicators, KPIs, and they have to monitor the performance of their business as well as individuals. Individual sense, sometime in a company, so they have employees, and those employees are grouped as a team, and we have to measure the performance of groups and teams performance. Sometimes we are assigning some project and some programs, and we are assigning the groups for that groups and teams for that project and programs, and we have to measure the performance of that group and teams, and individually we have to measure the individual's performance. So sometimes some people are willing to work as a team, or sometimes some people are willing to work as individuals, and we have to study and we have to monitor their behaviors and their mentalities and how they are going to support for our organizations, and we have to measure their performance, individual performance, group and team performance, as well as organization individuals, organization, entire organization performance, monitoring performance. Listening to feedback. In a sense, you see nowadays the social media, and due to this sophisticated technology and the usage of social media, and we are going to lose our reputation as well as image very quickly if you are not listening the feedback from the social media. So there are several parties are connected with our social media, like employees, customers, competitors, outsiders, some other communities. So we have to quickly respond for these queries or social media feedback. So time to time, continuously we have to monitor, and we have to get the feedback from these social medias, and opinions from the social medias, and some kind of reviews. So some kind of news spreading for our organization's product. So all we have to listen, and we have to give the response. Responding to competitions. So nowadays you see due to this rapid development in the business environment, there are various kind of competitive organization in our market. So responding to competitions, and day by day the competition is getting very high in the market. So new competitors are there, and they are trying to introduce new product and new services with new features, new innovation they are adding in the product and services. So if you want to survive in the market, we have to respond to the competitions. Like if there is any new trend or new competitor in the market, we have to study about the new competitors. What is their move? What is their actions? So how we are going to respond to those actions in the market? So what is our customer mindset? What is our customer preferences? Are they moving towards our competitors? Are our customers moving towards any other competitor's product? So what is their willingness? So everything we have to study, everything we have to focus, and we have to respond quickly. Regulation and compliances. So these days you see companies and business organizations, there are various kind of regulations and compliances from the government, from the regulatory organizations, regulatory agencies, and there are things we have to consider in running our business in the market. So we have to comply for these regulations, and we have to adopt those compliances. So time to time, the government is enforcing new rules and regulations, new laws. So we have to take into account these regulation and compliances, and we have to respond timely. Uncertainty. So uncertainty is not common. So time to time, we are facing uncertainty in the market due to this technological improvement and innovations. The customer behavior are changing, and competitions, market competitions. So uncertainty. So how to respond for this uncertainty? So business organization must formulate strategies to handle these uncertainties, and they have to think about their long-term plan, and they have to break down this long-term plan into short-term plan, and they must decide their achievables and KPIs, and they have to focus on these KPIs. They have to work towards to achieve these KPIs, and they have to measure their performance, and they have to measure their deviations, and they have to find the root causes for these deviations, and they must have a clear strategies to handle these uncertainties in the market. Cyber risk. Nowadays, the technologies are highly improved, and many organizations are facing cyber risk, like data theft, and customers and company valuable information are stolen by outsiders, hacking, and cyber criminal attack, cyber terrorism. So companies must have clear-cut policies and mechanism to safeguard their customers and their valuable informations inside the organizations, and they must have a clear mechanism to safeguard their customer e-commerce informations, like their personal informations, their transactions, their bank-related informations, and their trade secret, confidential report. Everything should be kept in a secure environment. And there are practices nowadays. Companies are going for outsourcing, so they are hiring some services from outside, and third-party vendors are providing these outsourced services. So that time they have to be vigilant about these services, and the penetrations, and the network security, and everything they have to take into account for this cyber risk. And finding the right staff. This is also very much important. Like companies, business organization must choose the right person on right time, and try to keep this right person for longer period of time, and they have to optimize this people. Time to time they have to train for them. We have to give all the facilities, and we have to create a conducive environment where our employees can work, and they are ready to commit for our organizations. So finding the right person and appointing and training the right person on right time, and develop the staff. Retaining customers. So this is actually keeping our customers for longer period of time, in a sense, satisfying our customers, and satisfying our customers' queries, and keeping our customers by providing their expected product and services, and giving all the support for our customers, so then they are with us for a longer period, so then we can enjoy the ultimate profit and we are success in our business. And it will increase, it will sustain our survival also in the business. So retaining the loyal customers. So we can keep the delighted and loyal customers for our business for a longer period. So then we can enjoy successful business operation in the market. Cash flows. This is a common issue all the organizations nowadays they are facing. So if they are unable to maintain some budgetary control or some sort of mechanism in managing their cash, sometimes they are facing this cash flow difficulties, like time to time they have to spend money for the expenditures, like salaries, some unexpected expenditures, or some other payments. So they are time to time they are spending. So they have to, companies must implement some budgetary control systems, some mechanisms, some systems inside the organization to manage their finance, cash. In a sense, they have to find the sources, income sources, and they have to identify the possible payments, and they have to find the possible ways to settle all these payments and outstandings, so in a systematic manner, so then they can manage their cash flows. So these are the 10 most common operational issues businesses face today, and we looked at these issues. Got the idea? Hello?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Okay, with that, we are going to conclude. These are the notes for this all 10 issues. So I have explained, and the time is 11 o'clock. And before that, I have one case study. So here the case study is, do we have another subject, next subject?
Yes, sir. But at 1:30.
1:30, no? So
Yeah.
can you please give me 50 minutes time?
Okay,
Or
sir.
10 minutes time. So we will discuss this case, and after that we will wind up today's session. Okay. A
Okay.
global lighting company with over 5 billion sales revenue across more than 130 countries was faced with tremendous market disruption resulting from the transition from traditional lighting to LED. So they have a traditional lighting, and now they have shifted move into new market, LED market. To successfully play in this significantly different market, the company sold off its traditional business and refocused on the technically driven, fast cycle LED business. To enable this, the client had to adopt new business models. Within this context, the procurement function had to undergo a major transition towards strategic supply management to effectively support the business going forward. So as a operational manager, what you can suggest for these particular organizations or company to surmount their current operational issue? Any suggestions? Any suggestions or any idea for this particular organization? Any suggestion? Any suggestion? Okay, the time is up. So I'm going to wind up this session by this level. And I think we have one more session. So I'm going to focus on that session, supply chain management and logistic and supply chain management. So if time permit me, we will discuss this case in that class also. Okay. So thank you very much for your participation for this class. And do you want to ask anything, any clarification, anything do you want to clarify? How do you get this slide? I mean, are you getting this slide as a printed copy, or the soft copy is shared with the students? What is the practice? Hello?
Normally soft copy shared.
Soft copy, slides are slides, shared, no?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if you want, I can share this slide with you. So then you can get it. And anything do you want to clarify? Any issue? Anything do you want to discuss? Anything? Okay, it seems nothing to be discussed. So then I'm going to wind up today's this session. So shall I wind up? Shall I
Yes.
wind up?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.